Right then, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I am RY1 and this is Koudelka. Anna has a little confession. Last time I got to this point and saved it, it didn't save. So I had to go all the way back to the very beginning and start all over again. I've got back to the same point that we were at. I haven't done any grinding on the levels, I haven't done anything any differently. I have picked up slightly different weapons. I've still got the normal dirk, which is 2 times in a row now, which is absolutely fantastic. Because at this point in the game I'm going to give James knives. Obviously we've just picked up James, the new character, and he is level 1, so to give him a little edge I'm going to equip him with the knife. You can basically, James is a blank slate, whereas Koudelka lends herself quite nicely to being a spellcaster, and Edward obviously lends himself extremely nicely to being a physical attacker. James is sort of in the middle on both. He's immediately effective as a spellcaster and immediately effective as physical attacks. And honestly, it's pretty much up to you which way you want to build him. I like to build him based around weapons with a little bit of spellcasting ability for a little bit later on in the game. So I slowly build his spellcasting up. Once he reaches about level 10 or so, I do start putting a few points every level into his intelligence and pie and whatnot. But Edward, obviously I keep as he is, and Koudelka, I'm not really worried about her physical attacking. Mainly her life is the only thing on that sort of side that we really bother with. I have picked up a new item that I didn't pick up last time. I picked up the whiskey. And the whiskey basically is your Phoenix Down. If you are familiar with your Final Fantasy RPGs, it revives knocked out characters and restores a little bit of HP. So that's gonna come in useful, or not actually, as the case may be. Obviously still got, now that I've got James, I can now that I've got James I can modify my formation a little bit. Make sure that Koudelka is equipped. Yeah, she's fully equipped with a pistol just in case she does run out of magic. The only thing I didn't manage to pick up this time, guys, is a bit of armor. But anybody who's played this game before or knows anything about this game will know that armor is one of the most difficult things to come by. I know what enemies drop armor, but actually being able to get hold of that armor is the more difficult task. Sorry, I was just setting my timer then, just so I didn't overrun on the videos. I know I can upload on YouTube as long as I wish, but it's mainly about file sizes and stuff like that on the computer. I like to keep them quite small. So away we go. There's no point trying to go back into the room where we got poisoned by the lovely caretakers with their potato soup, because they're not needed. You can't get in there anyway, the door's locked. You need to get the key and go in there later on. That's a new enemy as far as I remember. It's kind of like a marionette. After that last boss battle, we did manage to get a new spell, which was Geyser, which is sort of a water-based spell. But at the moment, I'm just still trying to grind up that flare spell, get it a bit more powerful, you know. So, because it does come in very useful in a little while. There's a couple of bosses coming up that it's very useful for. I mean, obviously there, James is level 1. He's already doing 140 damage with that knife. You got to worry about him a little bit when he gets hit. I'm only actually moving Koudelka now because I've got nothing better to do with it. this is it as far as your party goes. You don't get anybody else for your party, so you get your entire party real early on in the game. James is almost always useless just because he's not quick enough to really do anything. Edward's going to become your tank, proper tank, as soon as he levels up his unarmed a little bit, and obviously James has his little knifey wifey to attack people with. So in the battles now, the battles that would take a little while before now take next to no time whatsoever. Actually got to a point now where it's the battles on this disc alone are relatively ridiculously easy. Some more Listal. I do tend not to use Listal at these levels because it is just so easy to just leave it a little while the characters level up. That icon there next to the where it says corridor, because obviously every time you go into a room it tells you what room you're in, is a quick save icon. If you're playing the game and you quick save somewhere, that's your quick save. That's done then. And it's kind of like a temporary save, it's not a permanent save, so try not to rely on your quick saves. And I believe we are coming up on a cutscene. I will try and be as quiet as possible, although...
What a dark and depressing building. Even with the temple, you can't feel the presence of the Lord's light. I can't believe I've stepped foot in this place.
Where all have gone, and all must go, to be the nothing that I was. I have born to life and living woe.
Yeah,
Lord
that's
Byron,
right, James.
no?
Edward is an educated
I
man.
am not an admirer of his. In the first place, his poetry is unrefined.
And who gave you the right to judge the refinement of poetry?
Poetry should delve into the depths of the souls of the faithful. And others. It should inspire the soul as to Alexander Pope or George Herbert.
If they have the power to do away with these evil spirits, I'd choose anyone. Even that dear old carpenter's son. you love so
Blasphemous! Pagan! How dare you utter such words of sin?
To seek help from someone you've never met before is ridiculous, especially when people are dying from hunger every single day in London.
They're all filthy and immoral little beggars that deserve to die. Heaven is...
Oh, hello.
Doesn't sound like a demonic spirit to me.
The noise is coming from that building over there.
The poison didn't kill us, so now they're taking the fast and easy way now.
Don't be ridiculous!
Why don't you ask the bullets who's being ridiculous?
You idiots!
I don't think I like being shot at. It's not really high on my list of things to do every day. Alright, so come on Koudelka, shake that ass. And these are, well, as you can see, they are dismembered arms. They do have the ability to poison you actually if they hit you. Which is neither here nor there because the poison on this game never really takes effect. The battles are too short. Any battle that's long enough that it might take effect, it's quite easy to just go on without it and heal up as and when. As you can see, they don't hit for very much, so you haven't really got a problem with them damaging you. Yeah, that's right, attack my weakest character for no damage. Congratulations. Your spells do get more effective the closer you are to people. It's a lot like the physical attacks. Well, obviously the physical attacks you've got to be right on top of people, but you know what I mean. If you are feeling adventurous, stick your spellcaster, in this case obviously Koudelka, behind Edward or James to use him as a shield. Also, if there's somebody behind the character, it stops them being knocked back. Instead of being knocked back, they just get knocked down and then they get back up again. So there's no permanent effect from being knocked back. So let's see if we can end this battle. Oh, 212. Nice. Like I said before guys, your weapons do break, so don't get attached to them. And now we've got James leveled up, so I think what we'll do is we'll pummel into vitality to sort of try and get him on an even sort of pegging with Koudelka and Edward. I believe there is nothing in here other than the boss battle, so we'll see where everybody is. Right. Koudelka needs to go up a couple of levels, so let's just walk around in circles for a bit. And obviously this next boss battle sometimes can take a little bit of time, so I've got too long left on this video. So I think what I'll do is I'll do a bit of walking about, do a little bit of grinding with you. I know I said I wasn't going to do any grinding on screen, but obviously we're still relatively early in the game. So these are cherubs and they are freaking evil, horrible creatures. They do this attack which basically knocks you back, confuses you, paralyzes you and silences you, which obviously for James or Edward isn't a big issue. Koudelka, a bit more. They're basically just floating heads, as you can see, flying heads. Oh, there we go. Has that silenced me? No, it's done no damage. Obviously Koudelka has quite a good pie level, so she won't get damaged by them. Or she does do 1 or 2 damage. There's that knockback. So anybody who's just joining us actually, so far what we've done is we killed a werewolf, met Edward, been to the attic to get a map. I don't think I told anybody I got the map actually. Yeah, we got the map from the attic by the way, people. And then we killed a plant, then we met James, and now we're killing little floaty heady things. I think that's everything. Right, let's move James up into this corner. Let's shoot the thing. Oh, there we go. If in doubt, shoot them. Right, let's just have a look at our status screen. 788, so 2 more battles should do it, people. Hopefully I can squeeze them into this video. At some points in this game guys, if you don't get lucky with finding armor and jewelry as well, which tends to boost more your magic than your physical attack, then you will need to do a little bit of grinding. But it's an RPG, so grinding is, you know, obviously, like I said in the last video, I think it was, using your weapons and stuff, you go up levels. Now James is using the knife, so the more he uses a knife, the more adept he will be at using a knife, and therefore eventually he'll be able to attack twice with the knife in one turn, which increases the chance of the weapon breaking, obviously, because you're using it more and quickly, but also doubles your damage output, or at least adds a bit on top. And obviously it's never bad to damage something too badly. So there we go. Koudelka, obviously I'm trying to get her up with the pistol a little bit. Got a single action pistol at the minute, do get a double action pistol later on in the game, also rifle and whatnot, but I mean that's really neither here nor there. The best weapon we can get projectile wise is actually a bow gun, and oh hello, we got a bit of slowdown going on. There we go. The bow gun is awesome, but is finicky because you need a character with a high speed. That way you get to attack more often. We got a suit of armor and a dude that looks like he's been dragged through a stained glass window backwards. Also had his arm chopped off. All of these characters, let's say characters, all of these enemies have unique abilities and attacks, and I'm sure they all have their own little backstory as well. I mean, this is just a walking suit of armor with a big sword. So let's see if we can counter that sword with a knife. Yeah, that seems to do the trick. And this guy over here with the shard sticking out of his head, what he will do is, yeah, that's it, that little charging attack. Now I couldn't attack them with Koudelka straight off the bat. I can't now because I need to reload the pistol. But couldn't do it straight off the bat because Edward and James were both blocking her view. With projectiles, if the character is having their view blocked, then you can't do a lot. So you have to sort of move your character around the screen a bit. It's pretty simple. I mean, she's got a gap there because she's on an angle, so she can get in there and shoot him. And anybody wondering why Edward's not had a move, it's because he's paralysed. But shouldn't be an issue, should be able to take this battle on with just James. And Koudelka will need to heal James in 1 minute with Koudelka. The enemy as well, if you can get them near death, they do have a slightly different... Edward is cured from paralysis. They do have a slightly different movement style. Some will like droop their heads, others will sort of drop down to one knee and whatnot. And that's how you know that certain enemies are near death. Obviously when they are near death, some of them become more dangerous than when they're not near death. I got a spear. Right, and that's where I'm going to leave you for this part, guys. When we come back, we'll be taking on the boss battle and going from there.